right, and that looks like we are live. How is everybody doing? Let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, let's go. Frankly, I've got my Yeti kind of speaker over here, so I don't know if you can hear me, but we'll see how this shakes out. So, guys, yeah, I am turning 33 this month. This is a hair early, but yeah, let's just start recommending some books here for you. And guys, like, thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. It's been a very exciting journey here on BookTube. Kind of celebrating. Let's see, how long have I been on BookTube now? Is it because this is my BookTube birthday as well, so it's my birthday and my BookTube birthday. Let's see. So this is 2 years on BookTube. So let's see who we've got here. Let's see. We've got L. McRae. Thank you, LL. I know you are asleep. We got my good friend A.R. Witham, who I'll be seeing here soon. Yes, Jaden. The reason I've been wearing hats is just all that gray hair. You can kind of, if I kind of turn to the side, hold on, this side, you can kind of see the salt and pepper going on right there. So that's why I wear the hats. But no, I am in my early 30s. My good buddy, Andrew D. Meredith. We got JCM Burn. Oh, that was my attempt at a let's get ready to rumble. And yeah, no, I've explained this many times, as you can see right here. I do wear a lot of the same shirts a lot of the times over and over again. That's because my wife is constantly just doing laundry. We got 2 small kids, so laundry is just constantly going in this house. So I wear a shirt and then it just magically reappears at the top of the stack. So that's just how it goes. Yes, it has been pointed out to me. This is my Hobbit coming of age birthday. All right. Thank you, Miriam. All right. We got Mark Timony in the house. We got Jaden. Thank you so much, Jaden. Happy birthday. Murphy, thank you so much. That means the world to me. Thank you. All right. We got Jason Cross. Jason Cross reads books. There we go. I'm just tongue-tied. Thank you, everybody. Oh, we got Nico in the house. Thank you. Got my good friend Petey. What up, Bo? What's crack-a-lackin'? Thank you, Christopher. We got my good friend Evie. All right, so we have said some hellos. Let's start with, I've got a stack of books here. Now, the way that this works is if you guys want a recommendation, feel free to ask for it in the chat. I've got tons of ebooks and audiobooks that I've done that are indie and self-pub. But right now, I like holding things up and showing them to you. So I have kind of pulled 33 books that I have read that I have enjoyed from my shelves. You can kind of see, this is my self-pub shelf. It's just sad and falling over. But yeah. Okay, so we're going to start with, since she was the first comment, we'll start with L.L. McRae. Okay, the camera's over here. L.L. McRae's The Iron Crown. And guys, this one is super good. One of the best sapphic romances I've ever read, because it's just very understated, very healthy relationship where they reinforce their weaknesses and stuff like that. But also dragon spirits. The name of the series is Dragon Spirits Book 1. And I mean, what we get to experience here is if you get enough people worshiping or living in a certain place or enough life living there, then a dragon spirit can form. So like if there's a populated forest, the forest can gain sentience. If there's a lot of animals living in a forest, if somebody worships at a lake, these places can gain dragon spirits and they can grant boons and stuff like that. There was a war years ago with an invading Mir species, and it's just so good. And there's an amnesia storyline when the protagonist wakes up, has no idea who he is, and is on the mystery to try and figure out why. I love L.L. McRae's work. I've also read her Lunaria books, which is Maroda and Palome are the 2 that I've read in that one so far. I need to read book 3, Amara. But this is recommendation numero uno. It would help if I didn't block the microphone so you could hear me. All right, so I'm just going to start throwing books everywhere. Sarah, we just got started. And so you are not late. You are, in fact, on time. Ooh, let's see. We got a request from Murphy Napier. Environmental Seaside Story. That is right here. We have got Nomads of the Sea by Kobe Zucker. Now, Murphy, don't let the cover scare you away. I know he looks like Fabio. Don't judge Sig because he's muscly and has his shirt off. Okay? You can tell he's a little beat up. He's been through the wars. And this book is basically, it's kind of cool. It analyzes. Now, it's a thick one, so I do apologize. Let me know if you want one that's a little skinnier. But essentially, this is kind of, we've got two nations at war. And one is a nomadic seafaring, and the other are metal-plated knights. And it's kind of this interesting play on who is going to win. There's also a civil war aspect within the nomadic area. It's fantastic. We also have magic users who are imprisoned, and basically the way the magic works is it's elevation-based, and how much magic they can inhale and store inside their bodies. And the higher the elevation, the less magic. So they imprison the magic users in this world at high elevation. So that is my first recommendation. Now, bear with me if the signal drops a little bit because my daughter's in the other room watching Cocomelon. All right, so we're going to go ahead and turn off our Cocomelon for a little bit and see if that boosts the signal. But that is the first one that was also on the list. Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what happened. Jaden, Nomads, I just explained it, but essentially it's war, it's military, but it's also a great analyzation of analyzation. I think that's a word I just made up. But it's a great kind of deep dive into how these cultures work. My daughter's trying to get in. Yes, Nomads. All right, let's see. Recommendation for self-pub historical fiction. Preferably something medieval. Do I have that on the list? Do I have something close? Hi, Kaya.
What's that doing?
I'm talking to the people. You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Okay, come here.
Oven?
We have a guest star. This is my daughter. Say hi.
Is it oven?
Say hi.
Is it hi?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. All right, we're looking for a historical fiction book, Kaya. Do I have one of those?
Yeah. Your friend
Let's see. How is this worded? Historical fiction, preferably something medieval. So I haven't read a whole lot of historical fiction. I'm still getting into that. But I do have a historical fiction, and it's not medieval, but it is period in Spokane. Oh, you want your book. Okay, here you go. You're welcome. This is Butcher, Baker, Candlestick, Taker by Patricia Meredith. Now, this one is kind of a period set in 1900s. Unfortunately, not medieval. But I do have one that could fit the bill, but it's not historical fiction. It's just very medieval. But Butcher, Baker, Candlestick, Taker takes place in 1900 Spokane, and I love this book. There's a lot of food descriptions in there. The reveal and the twist at the end is very eye-opening. There's kind of an analyzation of mental illness. There's a lot of clock-based stuff. If you like Agatha Christie and you want something self-pub kind of like that, please check this one out. All right. You knocked over my books, Pumpkin. All right. Let's see what some of the comments are. Well, Pete, you are a full-grown man. No one is stopping you from watching Cocomelon. What's on the hat? This is, speaking of, right here, Ashes of Averin, Tiago Abdallah. That's what this is. If you see right here, just cover up chapter 20. You can see that symbol. No spoilers, but essentially, this is one of the books I was going to talk about. This is Ashes of Averin, and this kind of made me fall back in love with griffins in my fantasy. You know what? I did leave Cocomelon on, Murphy, don't worry, because my signal jumped back up. But essentially, Ashes of Averin, we got different culture clashes again. One worships death, one fears death. So basically, if somebody dies, then they are never spoken of again. They are forgotten. And then the others use death to appease and feed a goddess. And there's just something really interesting going on. There's also a corrupting madness where if people get corrupted by this madness, they basically become like zombies and they just go wild and attack people and trying to affect other people. And there's also like Griffin Sentinels and stuff like that. It's really cool. I really love A Touch of Light by Tiago Abdallah. Currently 2 books out. I believe book 3, 2 books. Book 3 is coming out this month. Hey, can you give me my books back? You know you don't take books off the bookshelf. Not yet. Because you're prone to color in them. Here, play with this one. This one's all tore up. This is a spare. You can play with that one. Yeah, that one's yours. All right. Kaya, people are saying hi to you.
Hi.
All right. Have Kaya do the reviews. She might just hold up and say, this is my book. All right. Hey, Patricia, we were just talking about your book. All right, recommendation. A fantasy about a main character that goes through a hero's journey, but comes out emotionally damaged. That could fit a lot of things. Hi, emotionally damaged. I'm talking to people. Well, no, that's multiple. This one could work. Comes out. Ooh, this one's definitely emotionally damaged. All right, we have got an anti-hero. I don't know if it's the hero's journey, so that one's more of an anti-hero. Or we could do that one. We could do this one as well. There's multiple ones that could fit this one. We're going to go this one. One of my OGs. We've got Mike Shell's Aching God, Iconoclast. This is basically grimdark Indiana Jones right there. The cover just caught my attention. And I believe this was an SPFBO finalist as well. But basically, Auric Manteo is kind of a treasure hunter. And they go into somewhere called the Barrowlands, where the ancient races went missing. It's walled off by imperial kind of decree. And to get in, you have to be like a sentinel. You have to pass. You have to know how to fight. You have to know your stuff. And even the people who do go in experience all kinds of horrors. And when they bring back an artifact that starts corrupting the sentinel in the capital city, Auric Manteo is called out of retirement since he is the only one who has been there and back and is still technically functional. So very good. This is a trilogy, and I love the entire thing. All right. Yes, Tiago! 33 cakes. Oof. I don't know if I could eat 33 cakes. Maybe if I was 16, we could see what we could do. Pete. Oh, man, Pete. Shades of Madness levels up. Where is your recommendation? Oh, Evie, did I skip it? I'm going to scroll back and see what I missed. Evie. Hi, Kaya. Where's my recommendation? Okay, Evie. Apparently, I missed it. And I'm a poor, bad, terrible friend. But you already knew that. Recommendation. There we go. For someone who loves the catharsis of reading Sad Boy Fits. Sad Boy Fits. Oh, you don't ask easy questions, do you, Evie? Sad Boy Fits. I'm going to go this one. I'm going to kind of go here. It's a little bit more brutal. This one's kind of interesting because I would more likely compare this one to Name of the Wind, but I like this more than Name of the Wind, and the stuff that this character goes through. Tavar for one. It's Middle Eastern. Let's just show you the cover. This is Memories of Blood and Shadow by Aaron S. Jones. Gorgeous spine, by the way, too. I love this one. What are you drawing on? Oh, you're just playing with trash. Okay, that's fine. Sorry, I have a guest star that I have to also watch here. But Memories of Blood and Shadow. Essentially, this guy goes through some stuff. Basically, he was part of a traveling merchant company when his family is set upon by a rival nation's guards. And they're basically known for enslaving people that they can catch. And then they have to kind of serve in the military for 10 years in order to win their freedom. The problem is that they are then constantly thrown into war and have a very high mortality rate. And then basically this is kind of told in the way like Name of the Wind, where we are meeting him retired out on his own, kind of in hiding, and then some people come looking for him wanting to pull him back into the fold to take care of the current regime, because there's a story to be told on how he became a legend. And so we're going to go Memories of Blood and Shadow just because of what Tafar goes through in this series. I mean, Aaron S. Jones puts him through his paces. So that's going to be the recommendation for you, Evie. All right. We're going to jump down. Recommendation. The darkest, most brutal book I can possibly think of. That one's easy. Where'd you go? I didn't actually pull this one off because it is so hard to recommend. I could either say the 11th Cycle, Matt, but I just saw your review of 11th Cycle, so I know you've already read it. So I'm going to recommend Black Stone Heart by Michael R. Fletcher. Essentially, on the back, it says, "That which kills you makes you stronger. I had a vision of remaking the world as it once was. She tore out my eyes and replaced that vision with one of her own." This has got necromancy. This has got the undead. This has also got amnesia. This one has got... this one's dark. This is, I think, Michael R. Fletcher's masterpiece right here. So we're going to recommend that one to you, Matt. Oh, Bo, that is easy. That is easy. Easy money. Easy money. We have got Dito Abbott's Debunked Terravenium Chronicles, book number 1. I love this book so much. I still have the packaging it arrived in because I couldn't throw it out. If anybody watched Tori Talk's book haul today, like, you got to see her unwrap that in real time. It is that gorgeous. In fact, I've also got a big old map. Come here. Come here, you big, beautiful. All right. All right. Look at that beautiful map. And you can just see by this little creature over here, this one's definitely silly. If you've been missing Douglas Adams and you like the kind of footnotes that Terry Pratchett kind of does in his work, Dito Abbott is 100% for you. It's kind of like those 2000s, The Mummy, Journey to the Center of the Earth, things of that nature. It's fun, it's zany, it's hilarious, and it's just absolutely awesome. This was my book of the month. I believe last month is when I read this. I don't know. I read so darn much. Suverb, let's see. Sio Voreb. I don't know. Anyway, best favorite Gamma book that you have read so far. I'm currently reading Morning Star, but it's not my favorite. If we're going to talk about my favorite Gemmel, it's probably either one of the Troy books or, which one's that one called? Midnight Falcon. Ooh, silence. It's probably Midnight Falcon. Midnight Falcon is really good. Patricia, I love Debunked. I love it so much. All right, Rec Request. Has a non-human POV. Doesn't have to be the main character. Okay, if we're defining non-human as just a fantasy creature, then we can easily go for No Land for Heroes by Cal Black. And let's see if I can get in. You can clearly see she is an elf. This is a fantasy Western, probably one of my favorite fantasy Westerns, just because it blends the fantasy and the Western so well. Like, I mean, between train robberies, bullets, basilisks, dragons, demons, oil magnates. I mean, it's all here. Banking in the Wild West. Like, this one is so good. I fell in love with No Land for Heroes when I first read this. This was amazing. So that's going to kind of be my answer for you, Christopher. All right. Let's see. Have I missed any? Recommendation for a psychological fantasy tale. Psychological. Let's see. How are we defining psychological? Because something that kind of analyzes the psyche on like anti-hero and mental illness. Illness. Enunciate the I. We got Winds of Strife by U.G. Gutman. Winds of Strife, like, you can tell that this is a dark tale. It's messed up. Your main protagonist is not a good person. Basically, he wants revenge for the people who killed his wife. And in order to do it, he joins the ranks of the people who killed them or who killed her, and then works his way up through the organization, hunting witches. And then also while secretly saving some of the witches from the families that he kills and then training them up as well, even though these people watched him murder their families, and he is trying to bring down the empire. So that is Winds of Strife by U.G. Gutman. This one's dark, it's messed up, but it's also a great kind of analysis on wrong and right and where does that line lay. Let's see. What's a book you thought you'd hate but ended up loving? Do I have any on this list? If we're talking self-pub, something that I thought I would hate and I ended up loving. Do I have anything I didn't pull? Let me see here. Turning Away. Something I thought I'd hate and I ended up loving. Excuse me while I just dance around a little bit. Do the twist. Okay. My answer is probably going to be this one. And I am so happy to be wrong simply because the cover, I wasn't in love with the cover, and then the cover grew on me. So when this was sold to me, I really only agreed to read this one because of the cover, and the author was very kind, and I just wanted to help give it some exposure, and then it knocked my socks off. Now, this is a post-apocalyptic kind of cyberpunk sort of thing where, like, the world has, we destroyed the world, and humanity has moved into these AI-controlled utopias called omega cities. And then basically the AI sees all, it controls all. There are some AI dead zones where people have chosen to live off-grid. These are the slums where, like, crime, gangs, everything under the sun, drugs, all that stuff happens off the grid. But, like, in the monitored parts, all of a sudden, serial killer has appeared, and they need to figure out why this person is invisible to the AI and is killing people. And you can kind of see the outline of the body here. Very good book. But initially, the cover didn't have me sold. And then after I read it, I kind of just fell in love with it. All right. Let's see. Jaden's. Let's see. K2U3. Rec request. Underwater cities, underground cities. Oh, that one's not self-pub. That would have been perfect. Covered in ice and snow. You get the idea. So, it's an interesting one. Subterranean, essentially, is what you're going with. Well, I could recommend this one. It's a novella. There we go. This is Creatrix of Strife by D.C. Allen. It is incredibly short. There we go. Make sure you can see it. Are you the superstar?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. All right. This is Creatrix of Strife. This is basically about a doom cult that lives inside of a volcano. And basically they have come up with this kind of ideology and stuff like that. And they're a doom cult. They're expecting to die and the world to die, and then they'll emerge from this volcano and take over the world. So that's kind of what this is. For non-self-pub, I would highly recommend Flames of Mira by Clay Harmon. That one's published by Solaris. Very, very good. That one's also Subterranean, Under the Earth, and stuff like that. All right. Recommendation. Kaya, don't touch. Main character is destroyed in the beginning, but overcomes it and becomes more hopeful. Gets married and has a bunch of kids. Last part is not needed. Oh, geez. Destroyed. That one's interesting. Gets married and has a bunch of kids. Let's see. Do I have any that fit the bill? Destroyed, becomes more hopeful, gets married, has a bunch of kids. You know what? I'm going to go with this one. I am going to say Superpowered by Drew Hayes. Now, I said I was going to do ones that I only own physically. Okay, please stop hiding foam fish inside of my bookshelf. For those of you who don't know, my daughter is currently hiding these between the gaps in my books. It is basically the world is a class system, And you have regular humans, you have superpowereds, and then you have powereds. And the powereds are below the humans. And basically, the powereds, if they say you've got a guy who can teleport, but he can only teleport if he sneezes. So he can't control when he uses his powers. And then you've got the superpowers who can like do whatever. They can go to college, they can become superheroes, things of that nature. And basically, we follow a cast of people who are put through a medical procedure, a group of powereds, who then learn the hope of controlling their powers, and they kind of go to school and they grow up. So I'm going to recommend that. They're big books, but they're well worth the investment. All right, so we're going to jump back down to the bottom. I'm sorry if I missed anything. Let's see. Harry Potter! Harry Potter? Yes, Drew Hayes. It's the only thing that came to mind. All right, best cradle. For me, the best cradle is probably either Ghostwater. It depends on what you're looking for. So there's 3 big ones. There's Black Flame, Ghostwater, and then I believe Wintersteel are the really, really, really strong entries. You're just hiding everything in my bookshelf. That's going to be fun to clean up later. Okay, but that is probably, I mean, Cradle is on the list, of course, unsold. Mainly I grabbed this one because it is the first in the series, because why not? But I love Cradle. I'm super excited and super bummed that the series is coming to an end. Please don't touch. Can you go watch Cocomelon? You want to go watch TV? Okay, bye-bye. Okay, you'll be right back? Yeah. Okay. But yeah. Will White's unsold. She was half passed out when I started the stream, and then all of a sudden she came over. So it is what it is. All right. Yes. Okay. Best book that I have read that is under 300 pages. Oof, Murphy's making me work. Making me work. Under 300 pages. Let's see. Is No Land for Heroes under 300 pages? Oh, it's 368. Oh, putting me on the spot. Oh, you know what? Let's see. Hold on. Hold on. Where is it? Where are you? I can either do this one, or I can do... I haven't pulled it out. Where are you? I have a book missing. Oh, no, it's just underneath here. Okay, cool. All right. What's your page count? You know what? I'm going to count it. So we're going to have 2 here because this one is under 200. This is Seasons of Albion by Elon Marsh and Christopher Warman. And this is kind of a grim, dark fairy tale. It's a collection of 4 short stories where we follow 4 different characters in an interweaving narrative. There is a through line and slight little time jumps. It tells the story in a very interesting way. Rather dark. Be in the mood for something kind of emotional when reading this one. The second story about did me in. It is called The Father, if that is going to give you any sort of hint. But then my other answer coming in at 303. I know you're going to disqualify this, Murphy, but I say it makes the cut. That is The Soul's Aspect by Mark Holloway. Also surprisingly dark, but it starts off with, you know, somebody discovering that they have special abilities. So they are sent to a special school, but something is amiss, and there is a dark twist in this story. Very, very good. The Soul's Aspect by Mark Holloway. All right. So those are 2 of my short recs. Okay, let's see. Ghostwater. Ghostwater is really good, Mark. All right. Recommend anything. I don't know what that means. Dies in our world and lives a new life in a fantasy world. Have I read anything like that? I'm sure I have. But have I read anything self-pub like that? Intriguing, yes. Reincarnation type of deal, huh? That's a hard one. That's a really, really difficult one. Well, is this... Dies. So if they have to die, I don't know if I've got anything like that. But I do have two kind of portal-ish fantasies by the same author. We have got The Legend of Black Jack by A.R. Witham. And also, of course, his story, The Tale of the Border Knight, also by A.R. Witham. This is a portal fantasy where essentially a young man has lost his father and gets put into the foster care system. And what ends up happening is essentially one night, randomly, a rhino wizard pops up into his bedroom, says, "Hey, we need you," and whisks him off to the land of Keymark, where he goes on very many adventures. If you remember the Page Master or something like that from like the early 90s, where there's just a bunch of mini episodes and it just kind of is this great adventurous arc, that is what these are. And then Tale of the Border Knight takes place, I think, 200 to 300 years before this story, where we follow one of or some of these characters as they become the border guards for the Keymark realm. Very, very good stuff. So that's about as close as I think I can get. Most imaginative world and characters under 400 pages. Man, you guys are putting me through my paces. Most imaginative. Most imaginative. Well, are you under 400 pages? I mean, you are. There's a potential answer. Let's see. Most imaginative. Super. I mean, I feel like I've already done a couple of those. Did I use all my best material? All right. Most imaginative. Do I have anything super crazy? Well, I'm going to go with this one because I think it's really creative, and that's Wistful Ascending by J.C.M. Byrne. And this is basically superheroes in space on a sentient spaceship with space bears. So do with that information what you will. I just interviewed J.C.M. Byrne, had a great time. If you want to see my son's all over that interview using me as a jungle gym. But yeah, fantastic. Sorry, Kay, I know you've already read this, but this is all I can think of right now. All right, I should probably not be balancing a giant stack of books on a phone that is that big. Ooh, Philip! Yes. Yes, she is. She's currently out there causing chaos. She's probably drawing on the walls. So we'll see what happens. Never Die. Very, very good. I don't own physical copies of the Mortal Instruments. Mortal Techniques. Instruments, Techniques. So similar. Yes. All right. Yeah, Never Die is pretty darn good. All right. Yeah, I know, Murphy. I knew you were going to call me out over those 3 pages. I knew it. But I did give you one under 200, so I gave you either or. Sup, Layla? I'm not going to sing the song. Don't worry. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I love The Legend of Blackjack. I actually get the Tale of the Border Knight's actually dedicated to me because, I mean, that thing just means the world to me. Like, that was fantastic. Thank you so much, Beth. All right. Where is the baby? The baby, Anitha, is a bed. Oh, gosh. Under 257. You know what? I'm going to go Tales of the Border Knight right there. Right there. AR Witham. There. That's the rec that you get, Pete. That's what you get. Or you could do Seasons of Albadone as well. I believe that one makes the cut as well. All right. Thanks, JR. All right. So we're also going to talk about 2 fantastic books that were my 2022 and 2021 books of the year. Where did I put it? Ah, there it is. All right, this is going to be me recommending more than 33 books. Are you coming back?
Yeah, I'm back.
You're back? Well, come say hi. You're a superstar.
Can I come in, please?
You sure can.
Can we stay right here?
Yeah. You want to sit on Daddy's lap?
Yeah.
Okay. I love that you left a lollipop on the floor underneath my desk. All right. Can you hold this?
Yeah.
All right. This is Trudy Skies, The Cruel Gods. This was my 2022 book of the year. Fantastic, fantastic setting with some great characters with self-induced amnesia and Mwah. And yeah, fantastic. One of the cool things about this world is it's kind of set up like right here, like a clock. You've got a central hub, and then each cruel god has their own domain in a kind of tick around the clock, and they are cruel gods for sure. Can you say hi? Oh, thank you so much. What have you been eating? What's all over your face? Anyway, we have got Mwah.
Honey.
Yeah, sorry, I'm all distracted now. All right, honey. And then this one, we are going to show Dragon Mage by Dragon Mage by M.L. Spencer. Dragon Mage. That's right. And this is one of the best books I've ever read because it's got fantastic autistic representation. We see somebody who really struggles fitting in with society and identifying and connecting with other people, forming strong friendship bonds and coming into his own, and has fantastic, fantastic dragons. Bit of a chunker, but so good. Thank you so much for stopping by, Murphy. I really appreciate it. What's up, Kevin? All right. Up next. Yeah, what book? No, don't touch the keyboard. What book are we going to do next? Point. Are we going to do this one?
Yeah.
We're going to do this one?
Yeah.
All right, up next we have got Palmer Picking. Can you say heliotrope? Oh, you got so close. Palmer Pickering heliotrope. And this is one that I just finished today. It is fantastic. It deals with some great, interesting... It deals with some interesting concepts. Here, can you play with your fish?
Yeah.
Okay, go play with the fish.
I like it.
Okay. It deals with interesting concepts. Essentially, your main POV, Telio, lost his son in a raid. Basically, his son was kidnapped while they were at war with another nation. That other nation sent people in, they kidnapped his child, and his nation did the same to the other. And then during that war, his daughter and his wife were tragically killed. He has since retired from the military and is working as a stonemason. Kaya, shh. Can you go watch TV? Thank you. And is working as a stonemason in the royal palace when a coup occurs and he has to save a member of the royal family. And it's just so fantastic. What's really interesting is the magic users, which he is descended from, the magic has since been outlawed. And so all he has is snits. We're going to take a 5-minute intermission. Hold on 1 second, guys. Go watch TV, okay? Come on. Go sit down. Go sit down. Okay, guys, sorry. I am back. When a toddler yells potty at the top of their lungs, you go and run and take your toddler to the potty, especially when she's no longer in, pull-ups. All right, but heliotrope. Anyway, this one was fantastic. I loved it. He gets to kind of adopt new kind of surrogate family members, and he just goes on this whole journey. It's fantastic. All right. Yeah. Body weights for no man or woman. Yeah, I do the best I can, Philip. I do the best I can. Thank you for holding on while I go and take care of that. All right, we've still got a fair few recommendations here. We have got Deathless Beasts by Andrew D. Meredith, the Collation Saga, #1. And guys, this is fantastic, kind of just day in the life fantasy. We follow multiple POVs and multiple groups. We follow Black Sentinels as they guard merchant trains and just kind of explore all of these fantasy settings and worlds, and they kind of get into some scraps and stuff like that. It's fantastic. We follow, is it Jarek? No. Oh, his name is Janed. His name is Janed. We follow Janed, the paladin. You get to kind of see what it's really like in the day in the life of a paladin. This is Deathless Beasts, and it's fantasy day in the life. And if you didn't think that that's something that sounds interesting, I was so engrossed that quite literally I read and I listened to these, because the audiobooks are also narrated by the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Andrew D. Meredith. And I was so engrossed that I just experienced the books. And I was so engrossed that I can't tell you particular plot points, because I was just there in the moment, letting the story flow through me. And I was so incredibly gripped. Oh, what's up, Sarah? You know, I would love to recommend The Way of Edan. Unfortunately, I haven't read it yet. I don't have a copy, but as soon as I get a copy of The Way of Edan, you can bet I'm going to give that thing 1 star. I'm kidding. I cannot wait to get my hands on Philip's book. I can't wait to get Alan's audiobook narration and physical copy, ebook. I'm going to have them all, because I'm just so excited for that book. Happy Born Day. That's a new one. Yeah, I figured it out, Andrew. I figured it out. Yeah, Anitha, everybody needs to read Deathless Beasts. We're getting a lot of collation love. All right, water break. Take 5. All right. What's up, Lana? I really do like the covers for the Collation Saga. Let's see. Rec featuring co-ed friendship that does not turn into romance. Co-ed friendship that does not turn into... See, that one definitely turns into romance. Huh. I think I've already covered a couple of these. Let's see. Can I pull any out? Doesn't turn into romance. This is one of those situations when you ask a question and the answer flees my brain immediately. Wistful Ascending can definitely, between Wei Li and Rowan, could definitely fit this bill. Let's see. That kind of turns into romance, but it takes a long time to do it. Cradle could definitely fit this bill as well. Co-ed. We've got... Does this fit the bill? We've got Laurel and we've got Alvarex here in the Threadlight series by Zach Argyle. This could technically fit the bill. They do hang out a lot. They are friends, and it does not evolve into a romance at any point in the series. Yes. Can I help you?
Yeah.
What would you like?
I'm hungry.
You're hungry? You want to what?
Can me?
Can I help you?
Can me?
Unfortunately, I have bad news. There is no help for you. What would you like?
I want water.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I got to get my daughter water. But yes, the answer to this one is going to be Threadlight. Want water?
Yeah.
Here you go. Go watch Cocomelon. Luckily, I knew where the water was. All right. Hey, I'll take it. Is there another Legolas Gimli Brotherhood anywhere? Ooh. I mean, that one is kind of like legendary and epic. Brotherhood anywhere. I keep trying to pull new books, so I don't want to just keep going back to the same sort of well. But Dragon Mage, I would say, has this for sure. Right here, there is the main character. Let's see, Aram, and what's his friend's name? Oh, it's Marcus. There we go. Aram and Marcus. Luckily, I opened up right to the page with him, with his name right there. But Aram and Marcus, they start off very kind of, Aram wants to be friends, and Marcus just is trying to be nice. And then they develop a real brotherhood over the course of this series. So I'm going to go Dragon Mage with that one. Recommending that one. Water is food for sure. Yeah. All right. Rhaeria. Why did we get some Rhaeria love? Is there something? Oh yeah, Rhaeria could technically fit that bill as well. I always forget Rhaeria is down here where I can never see it. Yeah, no, you know what? I did not expect her to say Dragon Mage. That completely caught me off guard and was very delightful. All right, one I'm going to recommend next is a darker, militaristic, and earlier I said that this one could technically be kind of historical fiction-y. This is the Hellborn King by Christopher G. Brenning. I still need to read book 2, which is Wrathbringer. But basically, Damien Dreadfire, his country was very kind of tribal, and they lost a battle to, this could have also fit that kind of psychological thing. But basically they lost the war, and for years and years and years, the ruling family has just been kind of sitting on that victory while they kind of rebanded together with Damien at their head, seeking revenge for a slight in battle. And the blurb on the back should tell you kind of what this one is about. It's a kingdom at war, a royal family at war with itself, because this is truly a family at war with itself. Essentially, the king suffered an injury in the last days of the battle or of the war from 20 years ago, and he was never quite the same. He suffers extreme alcoholism. He is abusive to his wife. He is a horrible father. And then the siblings are just kind of at war with each other. They don't get along. His son has also fallen into basically alcoholism, but he's the only one left at court, so he gets blamed for everything, despite the fact that the way that this world works, he has no authority until he either A, becomes king, or C, joins the small council, and they don't want him joining the small council. But his sisters blame him for all of his father's shortcomings, and they think they know best. This one is gripping, it's dark, and there is a lot to take in with this story. Warning, there is a huge trigger scene at the end of this book. I'm talking like right here, where one of your POVs gets abused. What's up, Sarah? All right, let's see. So we've already done Deathless. We've already done Heliotrope. Up next, speaking of Mark Timony, we have got Blood of the Spear by Mark Timony. And I love this one. Hey, I didn't know that it had a blurb from Janny Wirtz here on the cover. Basically, Mark takes his inspiration from 3 fantastic authors: Robert Jordan, Steven Erikson, Janny Wirtz. And this one is really, really cool. Essentially, generations ago, the summoners broke the world. They summoned in demonic beings and tried to just destroy everything. And they were overthrown. And a new kind of paradigm overtakes and thousands of years go by. And then we kind of meet this individual, and character names are escaping me right now. Kale, and what's his brother's name? I don't know. Kale and his brother. Basically, Kale is training to be a demon hunter because there are still demon remnants in the Outlands when something happens. And one of the things that should just let you know is this cover is in the book. This is a scene from the book, and it's probably one of the inciting incidents of the book, where basically he has to flee and go on the run with a small group of friends to try and figure out a way to survive and figure out what's going on. All right, we've got a few more books here that we can talk about. Silly, Zany, Funny. That was there a while. Let's see. Jill Milburn's books also don't turn into romance so far. That is correct. Thank you so much, Derry. Thank you. All right. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Let's see. A gamble of gods for romance. Is this a question or is this a statement? It looks like a statement. Let's see. Not a book rec, but any advice for someone starting a new booktube channel? Where do I start? I mean, getting comfortable in front of the camera just comes with time. But, I mean, finding a schedule that works for you to get content created. Can you go watch TV? I'll be out in a few minutes, okay? All right. I'll be right there. Okay. Consistency is key. Find your community. Find people who you love talking with. When you make connections online and you find your group of people, that's what it's really about, is kind of the community aspect, and then growth will come organically from there. As long as you're putting out regular content, you kind of, I've got horrible lighting right now, but if you figure out your lighting, you figure out, worry about the equipment later, but figure out what you want to do, figure out what you want to talk about, and then just jump into it. I usually recommend doing recording 5 videos, getting them edited, and then drop them all on the channel all at once when you're first starting your channel, because that gives people a next video to watch, and then from there you can kind of establish a scheduled routine of 1 a week, 2 a week. As long as you're putting out regular content on a regular basis, YouTube likes that. Nobody understands the YouTube algorithm. I don't even understand the YouTube algorithm. When I pulled back due to the incident with my mother-in-law and the fire, YouTube just straight up, because I pulled back, YouTube's like, why did you do that? You're no longer putting out as much content. We now need to reconfigure the algorithm, and it just tanked me for a little bit. But the algorithm will always figure back out. So that's kind of all. Really find your community and talk about books that you are passionate about. Yes, I am 33. I am now an adult hobbit. I should have done this with my sting. Oh well, it's up there. Yeah, she's so adorable. I have started Umbral Storm, and then I got sucked into a competition, and I lost the time to read it. So I am hoping to get back to it here soon. But from what I read, it was really interesting. I got about 2 or 3 chapters into it, and I was having a really good time before commitments pulled me away from, reading for pleasure at that time. And then I just got kind of sucked into everything else that's on my shelf. But yeah, I have started Umbral Storm, but I have not read Umbral Storm. But I like the writing, I like the style, and I liked the ideas. I don't know when I'm starting Elden Star. We will see if I have time for it this month. I've really kind of slowed down this month. I had, just due to stress, life, and juggling 2 kids. I had to kind of press pause on a couple things. So Pete, I will let you know when I'm planning to start Elden Star. If I do, it will be towards the end of the month. Tiago, we have talked about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 25 books. And I'm now talking about The Crew by Sadir S. Samir. And this is basically Deadpool meets... Oh, what did I say this was? This was Deadpool meets something, but it's absolutely hilarious. It's a Middle Eastern novel. It's got like dead gods, and like that's how they get their power, by essentially grinding up like the corpses of the gods and you like snorting the dust, which can put you in mind on what that's about. But basically, if you like Deadpool and you like that zany, no care attitude, there's a giant like mount frog. This frog right here is named Mozzarella. That lets you know what you're in for. But I just love this. This is kind of a getting the band together to go take down the big bad evil. And I just absolutely love. Yeah, it's Deadpool meets Kings of the Wild. There we go. There we go. Bo comes in with the save. One. I can also see the One Piece, except it's in a desert, not on the ocean. So there you go. Yeah, Katie. I was really enjoying Umbral Storm. I got a few chapters into it. So that is 27 books, which means if I can do math, we've got 6 more books to talk about. Let's whittle this down to 6. 1, 2, 3. Oh, but I want to talk about all of them. 4, 5. Screw it. We're going to talk about all of them. You're getting more than 33. So we're going to start with Rance D. Denton's The Ragged Company. Elias Faust. Oh, this is a testimony of Elias Faust. And this one is almost entirely Western, right up and through to the end, when it does this weird fantasy spin. But basically, like, weird things start happening around. I believe it's called Coldstone, Deadstone, something Western, his town where he is the sheriff of. And A, what initially drew me to the book was the cover. B, it's got a fantastic audiobook narrator. So that also might be why I really love this. But I just absolutely, I am a stan for fantasy westerns. I can't get enough of them. So if you haven't checked this one out, the fantasy elements kind of come in like a tidal wave and wash you away, but it's well worth the time. Recommend something like Forgotten Realms. I haven't read a lot of Forgotten Realms. I've read more Dragonlance. I can recommend something that's kind of like the Cosmere. We'll do that next. And that, for me, is going to be Divinity's Twilight Rebirth by Christopher Russell. To me, this is the next Cosmere. So far, I believe there are 7 books planned in an ever-expanding universe that's just in this world. And Christopher Russell has more plans for that. What I love about this book is the prologue is like 10% of the book, but it's all action-packed battle, and then it jumps forward from high fantasy to kind of a steampunk era. It jumps forward 700 years, and you're kind of dealing with the fallout of 3 high mage brothers from the 7-year-ago timeline. Each now has a nation named after them, and they're all at war, and it's awesome. And yeah, there's a mystery, there's like body snatching, there's magic. It's really, really cool. Thank you so much, Kay. Yeah, I'm going as far as I can. Speaking of Mike Molman, not a moment too late. I was just about to recommend Becoming a Druid by said man himself. This is Becoming a Druid, Protectors of Protoni. I've read book 1 and book 2. I still need to read book 1.5. I got about a third through it, and then I went to a squirrel. But I will get back to it because it was very interesting. Essentially, we follow a druid in training, Grommy, who is given his druid final exams, if we're going to dumb this down. Because basically he's pissed off his first 2 masters, and he's kind of on his last strike, and he gets taken up by a high druid to give him one final shot. And through this, he goes on an adventure all the way through Protoni. We really get to see Grommy grow as an individual, because as the book starts, Grommy's still very, like, you know, he's a prodigy. He's good at what he does. He's good at herbology. He's good at, like, transforming into animals. He is a druid, just stan. He's good at everything. except he's got, poor, he has no respect for authority. And we kind of see this shift over the course of the book as he experiences these tragedies and these travesties and everything that's going on within this world until we get to a rather explosive ending. I love this book, and the sequel, Speak with Elders, is just as good. So there we go, Becoming a Druid. All right. Have you played any of the Dragon Age games? Is there a book like Dragon Age? I would say probably Dragon Mage is the closest that's immediately going to come to mind. I've played all 3 of the Dragon Age books or games. Anyway, I've been talking a lot. Let's see. I would say, yeah, Dragon Mage probably fits that bill. Dragon Mage. I mean, if with a dark twist, Ashes of Avern probably also does it a little bit. I'm gonna go with Dragon Mage as my definitive answer for that one. So we'll hold that back up to you. I really like Dragon Mage. You could probably also do Heliotrope for that as well. It's a great getting the band together to go face the ultimate evil. Very good stuff. But Dragon Mage or Heliotrope. I just dropped a map, but right there. Another one that probably fits that bill is The Seventh Cadence by Jim Wilborn. This one we follow kind of, there's a war, and essentially the war ends, people are pushed out, and then they're trying to come back. Essentially, these people worship the wizard Titan. And the wizard, there is a singular wizard in this world, the wizard Titan. And the wizard Titan has gone missing for generations, but he's left single shot spell books and stuff that people can use. There is still magic in the world, but they are not wizards. They can just kind of do some stuff. And essentially, these people are trying to like retake the world because the kingdom that pushed them out doesn't believe in magic. There's a fallen kingdom. There's a prince who kind of wants to return to the warring ways of his forefathers, but his father doesn't believe in those. There is a lot to love here in the Seventh Cadence. There's a lot of people who study the lore of the wizard Titan and what might have happened to him. These people collect knowledge for future generations. It's just awesome. You can see this kind of dragon, and you can't really tell, but this is underwater. I liked the Seventh Cadence by Jim Wilborn. Let's see. We have got 6 books left, and we are going to talk about the only horror appearing on this list. Marilyn, I will get back to your question because I don't want to miss it. But we are going to do Nightfall by Daniel Barnett. This is the Nightmareland Chronicles Volume 1. Nightmareland Chronicles is a great horror book for Fantasy Quest lovers. And essentially, we have got some individuals. The sun goes out, and for some reason, people are driven insane. They start, mutilating themselves or killing people or doing just absolutely crazy stuff. And only people of strong will are making it through this, and they're all kind of trying to figure out what's going on. They're congregating in groups, and then John, one of our main protagonists, is on a quest to find, on a quest to find his daughter, who he is estranged from. This one is an emotional journey. We pick up, other characters. There's deaf representation, as in cannot hear. I love these books. All right, Marilyn, I am going to go find your question. Do I like historical fantasy books? I do like historical fantasy books. I haven't read a whole lot in the self-pub, but David Gemmell does the Troy trilogy, which is historical fantasy, and then Stephen Aryan is releasing in May, but I've already read the book, The Judas Blossom, which is Mongolian historical fiction fantasy, and you guys are in for a treat. So yes, I do like those. I hope that is the question that I missed and that I have now answered. All right, we have got 5 left while my voice holds. We have got In the Orbit of Sirens by T.A. Bruno, The Song of Kamaria, Book 1. And this one is fantastic. We follow Eliana, and Denton. And essentially, we created AI, and many people in the universe saw this as a bad move. That's just me ripping off Douglas Adams. But this ends up being a very bad move for the Sol system because they start annihilating humanity. And so in a last-ditch effort for survival, they flee to the one star that they think can support human life. Except it doesn't quite support human life yet. This was supposed to be a research mission, but they flee there to start over in the hopes that humanity can flourish on this planet. Except the air is not breathable. People suffer from a condition called lung lock. It's fantastic. There's some humor in here. There's found family. There's adventure. I love this. Yeah, Sparrow, it's so incredibly good. How stable is this stack of books? It's pretty stable. Okay, we're good. Baptiste, I'm assuming you mean Baptiste Poussin Wu. This one right here. I have it, but I haven't read it yet. So I've got this one. So I plan to look forward. I look forward to reading this one in the future. I don't know why I said plan. Anyway, this one is a future read for me. And then the sequel is getting ready to come out from what I understand. But yes, I believe those are historical fantasy as well. ARU, I think you will really enjoy it In the Orbit of Sirens. It's got a great kind of arc. Like, I mean, each book is distinctly different. There's some time jumps. Ah, it's so good. So good. So good. All right. Another sci-fi. We've got The Engineer by Darren M. Hanshaw, a Chronicles of Action story. This one, if you like Stargate Atlantis, the TV show, this one is kind of for you. Essentially, Action is just this kind of inventor. He is looking to kind of move to the heart of society. This society is set on an alien planet where they only have 100 years of history. That's as far back as their memory goes. That's as far back as they can remember. They don't know why. They don't know why their history is lost, but it is. And essentially, there are like different districts. They're warring with each other. They don't get along. We've got different factions who study the technology. We've got people who guard the royal family. We've got people. This is another one that has like autistic representation. There is a romance element here where Action and another character over the course of this very long book. This may not look long, but get a load of that font. This is like 300,000 ish words, but it's really long, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's a very gentle, very wooing romance. So if you're not in the mood for something like that, this one might not be for you. But if you are looking to explore just ancient civilization and invent stuff, go on adventures, solve problems, this is absolutely awesome. Book 2 is basically all out war. It's wild. Things get crazy. All right. What number are we on, JD? JD Mitchell, author of, we're probably on like 36. I don't know. We're just going. Springtide Harvest by J.D. Mitchell. If you're here, I just recently read and reviewed this one. Hey, that's where that bookmark went. No, wait. I thought this was a different bookmark. This is actually JD's bookmark, so it belongs in the book. Okay, usually I try and take out my bookmarks. But essentially, if you like D&D quest-based, you know what? This could have probably been the answer to the Forgotten Realms question, and I'm just dumb. So if you're looking for something that's kind of D&D based, check out Springtide Harvest, because this one's so great. There's some certain kind of elements in there where I just kind of chuckled because it's doing something intentionally, or it's trying to turn something on its head. It's kind of shining a light on how, in a realistic setting, the quester's adventure is kind of silly. Like, you've got to have your head in the clouds to think, I'm going to take this money, I'm going to buy some armor, and I'm going to go slay some monsters. Well, there's more to it than just sticking the pointy end inside of the creature, because they also fight back. And so this is just an excellent Analyzation, there we go. The word just kind of escaped me. Of that series. I loved this book. We've got is it Eska? Iskara? No, Froba. I'm thinking of the next book I was going to talk about. Froba and what's his name? Haskell. There we go. Froba and Haskell are two different kind of areas of their lives. Haskell's kind of like this fleeing nobleman or merchant son, and Froba is this street urchin. And over the course of the story, they meet in the middle and they have to work together. It's fantastic. I don't know if I'd say it's cozy fantasy. There's a lot of sex in there. All right. About a conspiracy book. Are you talking about Conspiracy by A.C. Cobble? I don't own that one physically yet. I haven't gotten my Kickstarter book yet. I didn't back the first Kickstarter. I backed the second one. And then I also, like, in that Kickstarter, I'm getting the first and second book. If you're thinking about actual Conspiracy by A.C. Cobble, that one is probably up there with Dragon Mage. I really, really enjoyed that one. That one is also a conspiracy where, how am I going to accurately talk about this one? Because I'm a little removed from it because I don't own the book physically. So sometimes when I just kind of info dump stuff that I don't own physically for some reason because I'm weird. But essentially, the king has died, and there are the people, the ruling class, the small council, if you will, don't want the king to be replaced. They just want to grab all the power for themselves. And then there's a small group of people, a conspiracy, who are looking for a nobleman to just put on the throne. And so they go through the entire thing just to get that back, or just to get a ruler back. So it's very cool. We've got dragon knights. We've got somebody who is just being dragged against their will. So like somebody made a deal with the Fae, and against their will, like they keep getting promotions and getting elevated in life at the cost of like their friendships. And he's just like, why does everybody hate me? I didn't ask for this. He has no idea what's going on. It's hilarious. What's up, Christopher? I actually talked about, where did I put it? It's on the stack somewhere. Is that one it? Nope, that one's not it. Is that one it? Is that one it? I talked about your book. I promised I did. What did I do with it, though? It's Memories of Blood and Shadow. Did my daughter steal my book? You know when you're looking directly at something and you just can't see it? Where did my book go? Oh, it's up here. There we go. It's right there. It was above my line of sight. All right, we got 3 more books to talk about. Hob plus Rothfuss equals Memories of Blood and Shadow, which I talked about earlier, but is right here. Okay, let's move that so that books can have. There we go. Right there, balance. All right, we got 3 more books to talk about. We have got Rob J. Hayes, Along the Razor's Edge, and this is Iskara. And essentially, Iskara is a sorcerer or a magic user, and her country was at war with another one, and her side lost. And because she was unwilling to give in to serve the other side that conquered her nation, they threw her, into a pit into a prison called the Pit. And her whole goal is to escape and wreak vengeance over the people who conquered her nation. You can tell that this is a darker fantasy. Obviously, if you're looking at the cover, it's got that vibe. So yeah, very good stuff. She's kind of angry, but not in an annoying sort of way. This one's also told from a future state. So it's an older individual chronicling their life back to you. Very, very good. All right. And then we have got Seekers, The Winds of Change by Troy Knowlton. And this one is fascinating because basically the Seekers are also kind of like treasure hunters. They go out and find treasures and lock them up so that people don't do bad things with them. But there's also a conspiracy to kill off the head of their order. And he is the main character. What is his name? It's been about 6 months since I read this. So names are escaping. Tyrus. Tyrus is the main character, I believe. He is sent out to try and find an artifact in order to save the head of his order's life after there is an assassination attempt. And in there, he gets embroiled into a conspiracy. So this one could also answer your question as well, Sarah. Action-packed, very good. Can't wait for the sequel. Then we have got our final book. Ah, yes, we do have the narrator in the house. P.L. Stewart's A Drowned Kingdom. This is Drowned Kingdom. Book 1, and essentially Othrin is the second in line for the throne of the Atlantean throne. And, of course, if you know the Atlantean myth, Atlantis sinks. Spoilers. But, he is kind of exiled due to some events and a disagreement with his brother. And because of that, he becomes the sole surviving royal heir to the Atlantean throne. Except he has no throne. So he has to go and try and carve out a piece of land in order to get one. And that is what this is about. It's slow, it's detailed, and it's got some great kind of political themes within this. Guys, my voice is completely dried out. Thank you so much for hanging out here with me. I really appreciate it. You are all fantastic. Thank you all for, just hanging out with me and watching my videos and just kind of being amazing. I really appreciate you all, and you all keep me pushing to keep making new content for you guys and recommending new self-pub books, traditionally pub books. I love it. I love you guys. That's all I've really got for you guys. Till next time. Peace out. Stay magical. Bye. Thank you for hanging out with me. Mwah. Ending the broadcast. Bye.